Hey YouTube, this is Cheese Factory, and this is a TvP in the Masters League on Heart of the Swarm, and I just kind of felt like uploading a StarCraft game as a replay, because I actually can't record while I play. My computer just can't do it, which was too bad to find out. But I can show some games where interesting stuff happens. So, this is Belshir Vestige. I am Red Pair in the top left, against Rule 1, the Big Easy in the bottom right. And yeah, so I'm doing my standard TvP build where I'm going to go for an 11 gas into a 13 barracks, so slightly delayed barracks, and then I'm going to proxy a factory down here and start going Widow Mine Marine production. And then when I have about 3 Marines in a Widow Mine, I'm going to be attacking his natural. This is what I do pretty much every TvP. Just because it's very, very good against their fast expands, and I also get my own command center up around 430. So it's actually pretty good for economy too. It's a good build. I like it. He's going gas, or gateway gas, cyber core, and then he's going to go for another gas. He's actually going for an early expand, but not super early, and not off very many units. He's going to go for double gas and a robo, but not actually make units out of his gateway. He makes this one stalker, but that's all he's going to have when I show up at his base in 1 minute. So that's really bad for him, because you need units to hold off. What I'm doing right now, if you get like 2 or 3 stalkers, you can hold it off fine. But he goes for this really fast robo and really fast expand, which take all of his money so that he can't get extra units. The second gas is just not good for him. He can't have enough units to hold off. You need the observer to hold off the Widow Mine, but what's better to do is just let the expansion take damage and use it to stall. Or if you have a Mothership Core, you can just kind of go in and kill me and then leave the Widow Mines to go, oh, what do I do now? Anyway, he actually can't see me right now because the Nexus has such little vision until it's finished, so he can't see the bunker building. So what I'm doing is I'm getting units in the bunker, and my goal right now that he sees it, is that he will either cancel immediately and just be in a bad spot, or he will try to defend it, like with this Stalker, die to the unsuspecting Widow Mine, or the unsuspecting Stalker dies to the Widow Mine, and then he has to cancel afterward, which puts him significantly behind. And he says, okay, well, I'll go ahead and get more gateways, get units to be able to push out, because I don't think he realizes that this is actually barely any production from me. I'm actually taking my natural and going up to my 3 racks and such out, and getting my stim back at home, and a starport even. So I'm in a very good spot now, because he's just so hurt by that. Losing your natural that early against a Terran is just bad. However, he does have the advantage that with this Immortal and army comp and such, I'm pretty scared. So I'm actually going to retreat to my main, throw up 2 bunkers, and play very defensively while I scout with my factory. Factory comes in and sees his expansion, so I say, okay, I'm pretty safe. I go and salvage the 2 bunkers on the high ground, build 1 on the low ground for a little safety, and just go ahead and fly over my natural. And he actually ends up in a decent position. He's barely behind on worker count, and his Nexus is finished barely after my command center lands. But I do have double mules, and I am in a good spot. And the problem for him right now is he was planning on having something to bust down here, and there just wasn't. So he has a lot of sentries, and a lot of stalkers, and a lot of immortals, which are all very gas-intensive units. And as Protoss, you want to be making none of those. You want to have maybe 2 or 3 sentries, and then maybe a couple zealots and no units. You don't want units as Protoss. You want to have all your money going into tech. if you can survive. But because of all of the stuff he's making, he doesn't even have a Colossus started yet. Instead of like having 1 or 2 finished, he's way behind in Colossus right now. He's just starting his first one. And I go ahead and do this drop. It's not actually to do damage, because a 1 medevac drop shouldn't do any damage. It should be defended fine and end up doing nothing. My goal was just to say, hey, I'm here, I'm out on the map. If you leave your base and come attack me, I will kill you. But he says, okay, that's fine. I'll stay at home and let you out macro me. So my drop does exactly what I want. I even get a few probe kills and a stalker before loading up and getting away with no losses. So that actually puts me ahead in the unit's loss, because I was behind after losing the bunker and widow mines and stuff over here. And I'm ahead in income with double engineering by upgrades on the way. Starport getting Vikings now, going up to 5 Erics. I'm going to take my 3rd soon. I'm just so safe because his mindset, it's he has drops around. If I move out, I'm going to get hurt. I need to stay at home and defend until I have a decent enough army to maybe take my 3rd or something. So basically my drops did everything I want. It put him in the position to feel like you can't move out. Because if he thinks if he moves out, he gets hit. Even though right now, I have nothing on the map. However, I do fix that pretty soon. I'm going to load up 2 medevacs, do some dropping, try to snipe his 3rd, and do some damage in his main. Even though he doesn't actually have a 3rd yet, and he doesn't have it when I move out. But that's okay. Because he's actually... I know he's going to have 1 started by 14 minutes, because that's the absolute latest you can do and survive at all in the game. So he's going to go ahead and throw down a nexus here. But the medevac's coming down, so that makes it a really bad nexus timing, because now my medevac can just snipe this really easily. And at the same time, he sees this and goes, crap, I need to defend that. Sends these units over here, and doesn't actually see the drop in his main yet. And now he sees, oh crap, there's a drop in my main. And hasn't actually seen it yet. The alert's on his minimap, but he's just now looking and says, oh crap, runs his probes away. Only loses a few, but then at the same time, he loses his 3rd. It's not even cancelled, it actually dies. So he loses 400 minerals there, 150 in the main, in probes. He loses huge amounts, and I'm now significantly ahead. And I just kind of leave my medevacs here, because he now can't move out, because if he does, not only does he lose probes, but he loses any ability to take a 3rd. So this means I'm going up to 2-2, and ship weapons, and taking my 3rd now. And just beautiful position for me. He's so far behind. Because I'm now 5 racks, might even start my Ghost Academy pretty soon. I'm able to go up to more racks safely, because I know he can't attack me right now. I'm safe to spend my money on infrastructure. At the same time, just to make sure he stays, I go ahead and do another drop there, and another drop here. And the problem for him is he tries to defend this with the Colossus that just popped out of that robo. And Marauder Marine chases after it. I get the kill. That's $500 in that Colossus. So between these 2 drops, I've done over $1,000. I'm now hugely ahead. It's not even close anymore. And he lost his main fighting force, because 3 Colossus is your critical mass where they become really, really effective. 3 is hugely more effective than 2, due to splash and such. So he now can't really be aggressive. And by the time he can, I'm wanting to be aggressive. Because my 2-2 is going to finish, my air weapons are going to finish, my Ghost Academy is going to finish. He's just in a horrible spot. His level 2 ground weapon is just finishing, while my level 2 ground and air, or ground weapon and armor are finishing. So I'm a whole 2 upgrades ahead of him, because I'm 2-2 to his 2-0. Horrible position for him. I'm actually even ahead in the worker count. Even though I stopped at 61. Normally you want to get maybe 72, but I really like having a lower worker count in this matchup, and then being aggressive with a much bigger army than him, and trying to have a bank before I do too much fighting, to where my infrastructure can rebuild everything, even though I have a lower worker count. And it's working out, you know. I'm taking my fourth now. I have this massive army. He's actually done pretty well. He's getting his own army pretty big, but he has no Templar at 20 minutes because he's been delayed so much and forced to spend so much gas in not tech. Really bad for him. And now he thinks, I'm not really sure where he's going to attack. I'm just going to leave my army up here. And I stim in here trying to snipe this nexus. I screw up there. I don't get that last shot that I wanted. If I could have done, then I would have gotten my whole army away, not taken damage. But instead, I end up having to commit to an engagement, which is okay with me, because I kill all of his Colossus, which makes my Ghost transition incredibly safe. He realistically can't hold off a Ghost transition when he just lost his Colossus, because the Templar are going to be crushed. And if he goes for more Colossus, then my surviving Vikings will just kill him, because he won't be able to get enough. Because I have 8 Vikings, I have a couple more over here. I have 10 Vikings, and I have +2 air weapon on the way, so they're going to be doing huge amounts of damage. Plus, I have my 3/3 on the way. He's just getting his level 1 armor. I'm going to get my huge Ghost count going with Marine Marauder, and my infrastructure is so much bigger than him, I can just outproduce him forever, because he's also only on 2 bases right now, because I sniped this. So it's a horrible position, where right now, we were just even in supply, like literally 2 seconds ago. I start producing and I'm 15 supply ahead. And as soon as that production round is over, I'm going to be like 40 supply ahead. And then pretty soon I'm going to be 50, 60 supply ahead and be able to just go kill him. So this is really bad for him, because it's pretty much over. I actually have a pretty small ground army right now, but as production kicks in, it's just too much. I'm kind of moving out, you know, wanting to make sure he doesn't have the tower. And yeah, this is pretty much his game. He gets up a couple Colossus, which is fine, but against my Viking count, a couple Colossus won't do anything. And he just can't get enough Templar. You see, I'm now maxed out against his 150 because my infrastructure was that much better. So now I can go in, just force an engagement by going around to his 3rd, where the engagement angle is going to be like his army, my army. It's like totally concave versus convex, where I'm going to be able to EMP and then just stim for game. And that's how it ends up going, because he doesn't have the army to beat me. By the time we fight, he's actually only 30 supply down, but it's not in a tech army. I couldn't kill the rocks just to make it easier to mobilize, because I don't really care if he knows I'm there. And now he tries to move up to snipe these ghosts that are out of position, but I see that coming. I move them back enough. And then great EMPs across his whole army. Stim packs, A move at this point, pretty much. I could be doing some tricks like get units over here and for the better concave, but it just doesn't matter anymore. So, stim, A move, victory. And that's it. So this game is an example of how bad it is to poorly defend early aggression. Losing your nexus like that just let me get too far ahead, that with my containing drops, I was able to control him totally into defensive play, slowing his tech while speeding up my own. I basically just totally set up for late game while forcing him to play early game without being allowed to attack me. So it was the worst position for him possible, and he just could not hold off. And that's how it went. So that's all. I kind of felt like doing a StarCraft cast. I don't really know why, but there you have it. I might do some more of these if you guys like them. So comment, like, subscribe. This is Cheese Factory signing out.